The hollow signal. The city of Newhaven was a place of glass and steel, a sprawling urban mosaic that glittered under the sodium glow of streetlights. By day, it thrummed with the pulse of commerce and ambition. By night, it whispered secrets to those who dared to listen. Among its labyrinthine streets and towering spires, a new urban legend had begun to take root, an insidious tale that spread not through campfires or hushed bedtime stories, but through the cold, flickering screens of smartphones and laptops. They called it the hollow signal, a phenomenon that promised connection but delivered something far darker, but began, as such things often do, with a whisper of the unexplained. In the spring of 2025, Newhaven's residents started noticing strange notifications on their devices, messages that appeared without sender, without origin, without reason. They were simple at first, a single word, "Listen," glowing on screens in the dead of night. Most dismissed them as spam, a glitch in the endless churn of data that defined their lives. But those who clicked, those who followed the prompt, found themselves drawn into something they could not escape. Elliot Kane was not the kind of man who believed in ghost stories. A 32-year-old data analyst with a penchant for logic and a disdain for superstition, he lived in a sleek downtown apartment, surrounded by the hum of technology. His life was ordered, predictable work, gym, the occasional craft beer with co-workers. But even Elliot couldn't ignore the notification that appeared on his phone at 3:17 a.m. on a rainy April night. The screen lit up unbidden, casting a pale glow across his bedroom. "Listen." No app icon, no number, no email, just the word, stark against the dark background. He frowned, swiping it away, but it returned moments later, persistent. Annoyed, he tapped it, expecting a phishing scam or a broken link. Instead, his phone vibrated, and a low, static hum filled the room, not from the speakers, but from the air itself. As if the sound was seeping through the walls, the hum grew into a voice, soft and distorted, like a radio tuned to a dying frequency. "You're not alone," it said. "We see you." Elliot's pulse quickened. He checked his phone's settings, his Wi-Fi, his apps. Nothing was running. The voice continued, unprompted, weaving through the static like a needle through fabric. "Follow the signal. Find us." He powered off the phone, yanking out its battery for good measure. The room fell silent, but the air felt heavier, as if the words had left a residue. Elliot didn't sleep that night. He told himself it was a prank, a hack, something explainable. But the next morning, his phone still batteryless lit up. Again, "Listen." The phenomenon spread quietly at first, like a virus slipping past the body's defenses. Across Newhaven, others received the same message. A barista named Leela found her tablet whispering to her in an empty cafe, the words curling around her like smoke. A high school senior, Marcus, saw his laptop screen flicker with static, a face briefly forming in the pixels, eyeless, mouthless, yet unmistakably watching. A retired nurse, Mrs. Delgado, heard the voice through her ancient flip phone, a device that shouldn't have been capable of such clarity. Each case was different, yet the pattern was the same. Listen. And those who did were never quite the same. The stories began to coalesce on Newhaven's digital pulse. Posts appeared in the dead of night, cryptic and fragmented. Anyone else, getting weird messages on their phone, just says "listen." Freaked me out at 2 a.m. My computer started playing static last night. Thought it was a virus, but it's clean. Now I keep hearing whispers when I'm alone. Don't click it. I did, and now I can't stop seeing it. It's in my dreams. The posts vanished quickly, deleted by their authors or scrubbed by unseen hands, but they lingered in screenshots, shared in private messages, fueling the city's growing unease. Newhaven's tech-savvy youth dubbed it the hollow signal, a name that stuck like damp rot. It wasn't just a glitch, it was a presence, a thing that watched and waited. Elliot, ever the skeptic, dug deeper. He scoured forums, cross-referenced posts, and even ran diagnostics on his phone, now reassembled but still unnervingly active. He found no malware, no trace of intrusion, but he did find a pattern. Those who engaged with the signal clicked the message, answered the voice, began to change. They grew distant, their eyes hollow, their words clipped. Some stopped posting altogether. Others, like a co-worker named Tara, became obsessed, muttering about finding the source before vanishing from work without a trace. By May, the city was on edge. The police dismissed the reports as mass hysteria, a byproduct of Newhaven's overstressed, overconnected populace. But Elliot couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, deeply, fundamentally wrong. He started noticing things. Shadows that lingered too long in doorways, reflections in windows that didn't match his own. The hum followed him, faint but ever present, like a heartbeat in the walls. He wasn't alone in his fixation. Lila, the barista, had taken to carrying her tablet everywhere, convinced it was her only link to the truth. She'd seen the face in the static tour figure that wasn't human, its features smeared like wet ink. She posted about it on X, her words frantic. "It's not a glitch, it's alive. It knows my name." Her account was gone by morning. Marcus, the high schooler, was less discreet. He live-streamed his attempts to hack the signal, broadcasting from his cluttered bedroom. His viewers, mostly classmates and curious strangers, watched as he traced IP addresses that led to dead ends, servers that didn't exist. During one stream, his webcam flickered, and the face appeared again. Closer this time, its eyeless gaze boring into the screen. The chat erupted in panic, but Marcus didn't notice. He was too focused, muttering about a location, a derelict radio tower on the city's outskirts, abandoned since the 1980s. "That's where it's coming from," he said, his voice trembling. "That's where it wants us to go." The stream cut off abruptly. Marcus didn't show up to school the next day. Elliot couldn't let it go. The rational part of him screamed to delete his phone, move to another city, forget the signal. But the hum was in his head now, a constant drone that drowned out reason. He found himself driving to the radio tower one overcast evening, his phone buzzing in the passenger seat. "Listen." The message appeared again, unprompted, as if it knew where he was going. The tower loomed on the horizon, a skeletal relic of rusted metal and peeling paint. It stood in a forgotten lot, surrounded by weeds and shattered concrete. Newhaven's skyline glittered in the distance, a stark contrast to the desolation here. Elliot parked and stepped out, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and decay. His phone vibrated again, the screen flashing with static. The voice returned, clearer now. "You're close. Come inside." There was no inside to speak of, just a crumbling shed at the tower's base, its door hanging off its hinges. Against his better judgment, Elliot pushed it open. The interior was a graveyard of obsolete tech, rusted consoles, tangled wires, a single flickering bulb. In the center stood an ancient radio receiver, its dials glowing faintly despite no visible power source. The hum was louder here, almost deafening, pulsing in time with his heartbeat. He approached the receiver, his hand trembling as he touched the dial. The static surged, and the voice spoke again. Not from the radio, but from everywhere inside his skull, his bones, his soul. "You see us now," it said. "You are ours." Elliot's vision blurred. The room seemed to shift, the walls dissolving into a void of static and shadow. Faces formed in the haze, not human, not animal, but something else, their features twisting and melting like wax. They reached for him, their touch cold as dead air. He stumbled back, his phone slipping from his hand. The screen shattered, but the hum didn't stop. It was part of him now. Weeks later, Newhaven was quieter. The hollow signal had faded from public discourse, dismissed as a fleeting urban legend. But those who'd heard it, who'd followed it, were changed. Elliot returned to his apartment, but he wasn't the same. His eyes were distant, his movements mechanical. He stopped going to work, stopped answering calls. At night, he sat by his window, staring at the city's lights, whispering to himself in a language no one understood. Lila was gone. Her cafe stood empty, its windows boarded up. Marcus's family filed a missing persons report, but the police found nothing at the radio tower, no trace of him, no sign of the receiver. Mrs. Delgado, the retired nurse, was found wandering the streets, muttering about the ones who listen. She died in her sleep a week later, her face frozen in a scream. On X, new posts appeared, fleeting and cryptic. "The signal's gone, but I still hear it. It's in my head. Don't go to the tower. They're waiting. I saw them. They're not human. They're not anything." The posts vanished as quickly as they appeared, but the fear lingered. Newhaven's residents went about their lives, their screens glowing with the usual distractions, but some, in the quiet moments, felt it, a faint hum, just beyond hearing, waiting for someone new to listen. And in the shadow of the radio tower, the air still hummed, soft and patient, seeking the next to answer its call.